This is the second preview episode of the Telescopic World. In this episode, we will be talking about the impact of the telescopic effect on individuals' decisions within a capitalist system. As explained in a previous podcast, the telescopic effect documents the link between the personal, the particular, of the receiver, and the objects of consciousness of the subject. This means that when the subject makes a decision regarding an object within his life, the symbolic representation, the decision determines the outcome as well for the placeholder, within the particular, through the receiver. But it is also true that decisions within the particular regarding objects which symbolically represent something in the general, can alter the outcome of decisions within the general by the subject. In other words, the telescopic effect means that alters, that is individuals between whom there is a psychic link, may exist within entirely different spheres, yet, the decisions in one affect the decision in the other and vice versa. This organization means, for example, that although the particulars are mere placeholders, that is, they represent objects of consciousness within the general, decisions made by the receiver can impact decisions made by the subject. Now, if you abstract this concept to all lateral alters, and imagine that there are not one particular and one general, but a myriad of them, up to 9 in fact, according to the 9 plates, then you can see that each is telescopically connected to the one below and vice versa. This means that each decision within a particular level has the effect of making the decision for all alters, according to the symbolic object on each general level. Thus, it is possible to see that each decision made can manage 9 different levels of decision making. Now, in an economic sense, this explains the natural organizational efficiency of resource allocation within a capitalist economy, where there is no central governing authority. The idea is that if each individual decision making can make 10 organizational decisions at the same time, it would increase the efficiency of the economy. The key point that we must take from all this is that the decision making corresponding to the non-standard plate must be a reasonable approximation of the best case scenario. This makes sense since the organization of the general and the particular is structured to mirror each other, which means that the solution in one is often the solution in the other. Thus, we can see that the organization of the particular or the general takes the form it does to maximize the correctness of the decision for all plates. In other words, the solution, the choice taken, must represent the best option not just for one plate, but for all of them. In other words, the structural orientation of each plate is designed to maximize the operational efficiency of decision making. In other words, the invisible hand of self-interest is the organizing principle, but it is not the self-interest for the individual which governs, rather the self-interest of the plate system as a whole. 9 possible alters. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.